Shalom, shalom, peace and blessing to the chosen. Hold on a second. Going on this side. Peace and blessing to the chosen. Pray everybody doing well tonight, doing blessed tonight. The week thus far. Praying that it's blessed, praying everything is good. Oh. Look. Salute the righteous and I mute the wicked. How you Christian rockin' Buddha printed true religion. Felt the change and I knew the difference. Moved the pivot, went from selling trees to selling soap and fruits with eucalyptus. Root of David, fruit of true repentance. When it's dead weight, who can lift it? A broken spirit, who can really fix it? They went half to make the baby, then went half just to kill it. They say crabs in a bucket, I say crabs in a skillet that's on fire, homie. Keep that fire, homie, like a peacock, all these eyes on me. She made die lonely, grudge drove her crazy. Your hate for that man should never be stronger than the love for your baby. It's like I got the art of feel. I can tell when it's not as real. If it prevails, it was opposite. We'll complain about a simple life, homie, doing a life sentence. Psalm 34:7, I've been hard to kill. Home do the kundalini, home do the chakras. Talking everything kosher, home do the lobster. And Nebuchadnezzar's furnace is where the rebels meet. Foolish, strong delusion, do the hubris, can't accept defeat. They did you wrong, I ain't telling you forget. Moved on, 2-inch memory foam, now I get better sleep. Sometimes you gotta let them go. They'll never know and they'll only see if you let it be. It's just a trick, it ain't legit without the father stamp. Survivor kid, the Bible lit like a lava lamp. You trust the one you listed as your power of attorney. Take the good with the bad, it's all healthy. Gain wealth through the wisdom, that's the power of the journey. Things wrote a 4-time rim for our learning. They see freedom, I see Sodom and Gomorrah while it's burning. Cast down, Babylon is falling. And it's epic, tell the paramedics, never mind the gurney. Truth make the devil choke like smoke in the esophagus. They drop bones out the sarcophagus. We take the hatred as a compliment, honestly. Far as prophecy, we living it out. Epstein files, agents swerving in excursions. Bombed out, ran the highest, stirring up the purgings. Major businesses doing mass layoffs to keep from going bankrupt, a couple of them merging. Record clean, cops still make them nervous. World War, this the third one. Praying hard they don't draft our children for the service. All right. Peace and blessings to the chosen again. Shalom. Drop them sevens in the comments for me. Drop them sevens in the comments for me if I'm coming through clear on the audio before we get started, man. I pray everything blessed with y'all. Like I said, thus far through the week, man. Tonight's message, tonight's subject matter. I'll pray to the Most High for them sevens. I see them. I appreciate you. Yeah, man. Something that so many people dealing with, you know what I mean? Adults, children, teenagers. And it transcends, you know what I mean? Whether you a melanated person or not, whether you one of the children of Israel or not, man. And it's been going on for so long. It's a lot of families, man. A lot of broken households, which created broken people. You know what I'm saying? Broken men and women. And the brokenness come from what went on with the parents, man. What went on with the mama and the daddy? What went on with the mother and the father? You know what I mean? And a lot of the children who been brought up, who right now today you got some that they adolescents, they toddlers, they infants, they don't know, they oblivious to it. But you got other people who done went their whole lives, man. They adults now, young adults, grown, so much so to the point where they never got a chance to have a sit down with their absent parent to get clarity on, like, man, what went on? Like, why wasn't you there for me? I heard this side of the story, you know, and we're talking about the father side, but in other cases, you got men in situations keeping children from the mothers for bitter reasons. You know what I'm saying? Just to be low down, that type of stuff. So tonight's message or the subject to be spoken on is, with everything that you know, so many of the people who dealing with that, you just raised by your mama, you raised by your grandma, you raised by your auntie or whatnot, or you being raised by your father, your grandfather, or your uncle. Did you hear the other side of the story? And even in the cases where it's like, because so many been brought up, you know what I mean, been brought up and raised, and all they ever heard was one side of the story of why the father wasn't there. They said, well, he ain't no good, he didn't want nothing to do with you. They said, oh, he was selfish. They said, oh, he was a drunkard, he just wanted to go out and be in the streets, he wanted to party. He said, oh, he wasn't faithful, he just wasn't my cup of tea. But is that 100% true, though? In a lot of cases, for a lot of people, that is true. You know what I mean? Some of the people, they have had to sit down like, yeah, man, my pops, he ain't no good, man. He a sad excuse for a man. But there's a lot of people who they haven't had no heart-to-heart, no sit-down, no genuine conversation. You know what I mean? To actually give that man an opportunity to tell them, this is why I want her, baby. This is why I want her, son. In other cases, you have where, like I'm saying, they had the opportunity. That man had the opportunity to create a bond with the child whose life they hadn't been in, and they still didn't take advantage of it. They still didn't want no parts of it. They still didn't want no dealings. And how they register in so many people's spirit. You know, you got a lot of people around here, they mad, man. Mad at the world. Mad because they didn't have the experience of pops picking them up from school. They didn't have the experience of, you know, pops showing up to one of the events that they had in the school. They didn't even have the luxury to come home and they pops even get on them. You know what I mean? Kind of get upset with them, to discipline them. They don't know how they feel. And in so many cases, the reason of that is because they're woman. The mama was bitter. The mama was being a liar. The mama was being selfish. The mama didn't want to let the truth come out. The mama had some type of agenda or motive and poisoned the children against the man. So even now, there's a lot of brothers, man, a lot of wonderful fathers, wonderful great dads. You know what I mean? Being hindered from even having a bond and relationship with their children. Because the mama said, well, I'm going to go downtown to the courts. I'm going to get some kind of restraining order against you or get you on papers, or I'm going to put the people in our business. And that's evil, man. That's wicked. But a part of it is the child themselves not even knowing that, man, this hey, mama did that. You don't know your daddy because your mama. Not because he didn't want to be around. Got a lot of men right now taking a bunch of flack off women. Taking a lot of abuse from women. You know what I mean? And restraining themselves so much so saying, man, you know what? If the child is mad at the daddy, angry with the daddy, disappointed at the daddy, and the daddy, even in the midst of this, saying, man, if I told you what it really is, my son and my daughter, you probably would be, you putting your hands on me, cussing me out, man, you would want to hurt your mama. But I don't even want you to see your mama in that light.
So I'm not going to even share that with you. I'm going to wait till you grow up and prayerfully you will find that out on your own. And you got a lot of women doing the same thing. For me, it is deadbeat fathers out here. It's a bunch of them. Careless men. It's a lot of deadbeat mamas too, man. So something that's been circulating on the net, though. Let me share my screen. Look at this. I'm going to share my screen. This one video that's been circulating on the net went viral. Check this out. It's a father tries to reunite with his son.
What you doing, man?
Fair use, educational purposes. This is not my original material. And also, too, the videos that I will share tonight, family, they're going to have some profanity in them. Just giving y'all a heads up. Giving y'all a heads up.
What you doing, man? What you doing?
It's some violence. You know what I'm saying? This one got violence in it. We'll go back. Again, it's like the father trying to reunite with his son.
What you doing, man? What you doing, man? What you doing?
He told him, stop sending money, stop sending clothes. You don't supposed to be out here. Called him out his name, called him a female dog. Say this his daddy. I don't know, family. I don't know if dude actually deserved it or not. But what I'm taking from it is, what if? What if all that rage, all that anger, that wrath, that malice, that bitterness that the young man got towards the older man? What if all that he feeling is founded in the foundation of it is based off a lie and selfishness of his mama? What if she kept him away from his son, like so many do? What if all that he doing right now comes from a lie, man?
I'm confused, man. Shoot me.
He said, I'm gonna come through, shoot me. In other words, I'm gonna keep coming. And he kick him in the face. Look at it. He's still saying, my love, I'm trying to give you this love, man. I don't know. I'm not saying he justified or he wrong in a situation. I'm just saying this is how I'm observing this matter, family. Different possibilities, consideration. We got to look at it from multiple angles, man.
I got a hard right. Swing the bitch and knock them out.
He said, I got a hard right coming. He done dazed them, knocked them down. You know what I'm saying? That's his daddy. I don't know. I don't know the story, but I'm saying, but did he hear and listen to his father's side of the story? Do he got the full story? Is he fully justified in his anger? Because there's a lot of people out here that don't know the mama put the battery in their back. And there's evil and there's wicked. And they're going to point the finger and blame the daddy. Say it's the daddy's fault. Your daddy. Put it on the man. And then go hide behind the system. Some of the people who mad at their daddies right now, you mad at your father not knowing, man, look, man, your mama couldn't be trusted. He didn't even know if you was his. But that type of story get buried. People don't want to hear. It's not popular. It's not a popular stance and a popular perspective. You know what I'm saying? You got people missing out on a blessing of the whole other side of the family. Like, these are the people who really got all the love for the child. Like, man, yeah, they whole tree is full. The family tree on their side is just completely full of love. But you got a lot of the women who they be jealous of the children, man. This is another point that don't get talked about, people don't speak on. They be jealous of the children. The mama mad and jealous because, if I let you go over there with your daddy, then you're going to be getting all that love that I can't get, that I didn't experience, that I didn't get in my life, in my family tree. This is something that don't get talked about. This is something that don't put that light on it, man. For example, let me show you something else. Look at this. Let's see. Look at this right here, fam. Listen to her.
I'm about to be extremely vulnerable because this might help someone. I've never been this vulnerable online and like ever, okay? I believe you are as sick as your secrets, and saying things out loud helps free you. So my parents were married and then they had me. I guess their marriage was difficult, so they later got divorced. I don't know why. I don't know the details. All I know is that they separated. So I used to be with my mother 1 week, and then I'll go be with my father the next week.
And then that's the reality for a lot of parents today too. Rotation, you know what I'm saying? Now, the root of the separation of the family, this ain't the only reason, but this is what I wanted to talk about tonight. This is what was on my spirit, you know what I'm saying? But separation in the house, you got it to where the dad only see the child on the weekend, or you only see him through the summer, or you only see him on holidays. Rotating. So the child themselves, he or she, they don't get to experience both parents at the same time in fullness, like the original design for family was and is. That can be something that creates instability in a person, where they unstable. They can play on the psyche of a person in a lot of ways. But let's listen to her again. Let me go back again.
All I know is that they separated. So I used to be with my mother 1 week, and then I'll go be with my father the next week. Okay. So back and forth. 1 week, my dad never showed up to come and pick me up. I sat by the door, literally waiting and waiting. He never showed up. The following week, I did the same thing. I did this for months. Okay. He never came. So I felt so rejected. Okay. I still quite literally turn into that little girl. When I talk about it, it has changed the trajectory of my life. Okay. So I didn't find out until literally recently as an adult that my father did not abandon me. My mother cut him off because she was afraid that he was going to take me from her.
She just not finding out as an adult. She thinking she going her whole life feeling like her daddy don't want her. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, the others, this man don't want no dealings with me. He was here at first, then he just stopped coming around. Like, confusion. Yeah, that'll leave a person confused. Definitely a child. She says she just not finding out as an adult that her mama cut him off. Not that he just said, I'm done with it and washed his hands with a family. How many more people got this same story, man? How many more?
And my father did not abandon me. My mother cut him off because she was afraid that he was going to take me from her. So I literally had to grow up without a father, thinking that my father didn't love me. So I would go on dating these men who were amazing to me. I've had wonderful relationships, and I would literally feel like the love was never enough because my father didn't love me. How could another man love me? So it just fucked me up, okay?
Now you see that situation of how her mama robbed her, it impacted her for the rest of her life. Even the choice in men she chose to deal with. It's the same thing that it happened to boys too. As boys grow up and the dad at one present. And a lot of this happened because their woman, for whatever reason, many cases it's the bitterness. Many cases just like, man, this dude don't want nothing else to do with me. Then if I can't be happy with him, or he think he gonna move on, then I'm gonna make his life a living hell. That's how a lot of people think, man. And again, the title is, did you hear your father say? But it happened and vice versa. It's men out here who do the same thing. It's men who will run down to the court and try to keep their mama out of the child's life because he wicked, because he wrong, or whatever, because he don't want her to move on. But more cases than less is usually what we're hearing about right here. The father is being kept out the way. The father is being hindered. There's a barricade up there. Like, you ain't gonna meet him, though. You know what I mean? Let me go back. She said something else. Let me catch that again.
Had a father, thinking that my father didn't love me. So I would go on dating these men who were amazing to me. I've had wonderful relationships, and I would literally feel like the love was never enough because my father didn't love me. How could another man love me? So it just fucked me up, okay? Like, for good. So this is why I chose the man that I chose to have a baby with. Like, everything truly makes sense. And my grandmother tells me this, and I was angry at my mom. Angry, okay? Because
angry with her mama. But see, then the cover up like that happen a lot of time because you don't want the child to be angry. There's something that evil spirit in a person that'll cause them to do something like that. Don't tell them. The child is still growing. And as they grow, the brain develops. So eventually, they will be able to make a judgment call for themselves. And the poison that a lot of people try to put into the child against the other parent end up backfiring. In the meanwhile, you got a lot of men suffering, though, because it's like, man, I got to just take this. I got to just take this and wait. Not even knowing that maybe, I don't know, maybe the child won't ever get to the point. Maybe the root, the poisonous seed that the other parent plant in the child, maybe it'll actually take root, man. Maybe it'll actually take root, take over them, and then they'll never, they end up passing away or holding that grudge. Listen to the rest of what she said, though.
how dare you be that stuff fucking selfish and not think of me? You don't think I wanted to have my father? I've forgiven her. Now I've made peace with it. But that's why I feel so strongly about cutting parents or cutting the other person off. You don't get to fucking do that. You don't, okay? Because like I said, it scarred me. And now my father is dead. And it haunts me for the rest of my life. Because I literally grew up thinking he didn't want me. That wasn't the case. He was coming. They were returning him. And I was sitting there by that door waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and he never showed up. And I hope this brings me some type of closure, because it literally eats at me all the time.
He eats at her all the time. Keep in mind, though, she said her grandma told her. She said her grandma had to tell her, like, you know, and she grown. You have it in families where you got to have the auntie or the uncle, basically the sibling to the parent, to step in and sneak the child out. Let me get nephew. Let me get my niece. I'm just want to take them out this weekend. But they themselves know, like, man, you got a good mate, man. You got a good man, or this is a good woman who you dealing with, and you just being petty and low down. So they got to tell their sibling, let me get my niece or nephew this week. I'm going to take them out. And then they get them and get in contact with the other parent, like, man, I'm going to meet you so you can get some time in with your child. Not on no funny business. Not on nothing like trying to get in, but because the Most High didn't move that person's spirit enough to say, man, they need to know They need to have a bond. Some parents ain't got nothing but prayers for their children. They ain't seen. You know what I'm saying? You got people who growing up like this, you got to imagine, what if the daddy got other children? You know what I'm saying? And so then it's like it play in that child's mind. Like, dang, why would they choose to be with those children and not me? What's wrong with me? Eating at them as they grow. Eating them up, eating them alive, all based off the fact that this woman, in this case, just felt like, man, I hate him. Like I said in the song, man, the hate for that man should not be stronger than the love for your baby. Meaning that whatever problem you got with that man, whatever problem you got with him, it shouldn't cause you to try to hinder or move in a way of bitterness that's going to impact your child in a negative way. Everybody deserves both parents, man. Now, outside of the fact of, you got some monsters out here. Like, yeah, he don't need to meet the child. She don't need to be around the child. These folks killing their own children or unaliving their own children. I ain't talking about those cases. I'm talking about in a common case where a man definitely wants to be involved with his child. He wanna nurture. He wanna teach him and train him. That woman wanna be there, but because this individual feels like if you ain't gonna be with me, then you ain't gonna have no peace. You can't even be with the child. They make it about them instead of the child. This what go on so many times, man. Yes, indeed. And in other cases, that's a major blessing. If you don't know, you got somebody that will meet you with the child, but then you do got in other cases, the whole family wicked. They like, yeah, let's keep everybody miserable. You know what I mean? And it's like a blood-sucking demon just over the child. Don't want the child to get no light, get no rest and no peace. Some of the children, when they actually do get a chance to get around the other half, it's a great relief because it ain't a bunch of chaos on your side. It ain't a bunch of chaos went on with you, Pop. Any structure went on with you, Pops. Plus, went on with you, you ain't just letting me do whatever. You telling me, you giving me balance. You telling me yes and no. You let me know what's sweet and what's not. You showing me discipline. You actually raising me. And a lot of people got it twisted, believing that raising or taking care of a child is just providing material things for them. And it ain't, man. What are you teaching that child? What you instilling in that child? All right. Yeah, but what we saw, man, you got the guy fighting his dad. I don't know if his daddy deserved it. You know what I mean? Maybe he do. I don't know. But did your daddy have a chance to share his side of the story is what I'm asking. Did you hear your father's side? What if you actually heard his side and none of it is true, like what the sister just was saying? Went her whole life, man, thinking that her daddy didn't want nothing to do with her, thinking her daddy abandoned her. And not one time in that time frame did the mama think to say, hey, that's actually not the case. I was afraid he was going to take you away from me. But how can a man take a child away from somebody? You know what I mean? And you got the system going to say, hey, they're going to put out their Amber Alert. It's crazy, man. So let me get some word here, though, man. Deuteronomy chapter 1. Did you hear your pop's side of the story? You got some people that, they don't want to hear their pop's side of the story because they've done so much against them. It's like, dang, if I'm wrong, I don't want to face the fact that if I'm wrong about how I've been mistreating my daddy and carrying on. If he tell me that none of that was true, I can't accept it because I done did so much dirt against him. Yeah, man. So as we grow, definitely those of you who tuning in, if you ain't had that conversation with your pops, man, and you upset with them, you mad with them, or if it's the case where, you know, your pops was the one telling you these things about your mama or whatever, man, you need to, if possible, man, try to set that conversation up. Hear them out, man. And some of y'all have had the opportunity where you might haven't seen him. And then when you do see him, he don't make an effort. So, hey, don't you feel bad, you know, if that man chose to not be present in your life. Because one thing about it, man, we all always have had a father. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not the earthly one, but the one in heaven. You know what I mean? That's what I want y'all to know too, man. Deuteronomy, though, chapter 1, verse 17. Did you hear your father's side of the story? It said, ye shall not respect persons in judgment. So just because there's mama, you know what I'm saying? Just because there's grandma, because she's so sweet and she make them good sweet potato pies. We love them. They so scrumptious and delicious, you know. Just because she do that, don't give her no, you know what I'm saying, no license to be evil. Like the sister said, man, I made a post before. I'm sure people didn't like it, but you know, it's what I said. If a parent does that, you keeping that child away from their parent, and it's not an actual legit reason why, man, you deserve to be in prison, right? Because you robbing that child. You robbing that child of having somebody around them, and one person. We know this. We're talking about the lumens in the light bulb. There's one man, one of our people that thought of it, and it changed the whole world. You got one woman who, through her idea, we got the internet. So one person is super important, man. Major impact. They can impact the whole entire world throughout history. You know what I'm saying? So if you keep that individual away from their child, it's stuff that they got to learn and get from their parent, man, that they need to know. And I'm talking about in a situation where everything is kosher, everything kosher. You know what I'm saying? Not what I'm talking about, you know, you got reasons why, yeah, dude definitely don't need to be around the children. Or the woman don't need to be around the children, the mama. I ain't talking about those cases. Yeah, man. So the Most High telling us, bro, don't just, nobody gets a pass. You shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. So it don't matter if you came up because, you know, your mama had money or your daddy had money. Got a lot of parents, male or female, dad or mama, because they got the bread, they want to just flood the child out, give them a bunch of gifts, and the child is a child. The brain not fully developed. They don't know that they can live without the material. They just figure, hey, I'm finna have fun. You bought me a go-kart. But all of these gifts given in a way of an evil intent. So I'm gonna give you all this. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let you go with your daddy. In the hopes that because daddy don't give you that, because daddy gonna tell you no. Daddy gonna say, "Man, sit somewhere down. So sit down somewhere if I hit you with that belt. You're doing too much." But because daddy gonna come like that, the child will take me back to my mom. I want that type of stuff, man. Yeah, so whether small or great, whether they rich or poor, whether they got a position or not, whether they working or not, if they live in a big house or a one-bedroom apartment, even if they living if they homeless, man, you still supposed to listen to what this person got to say. Their voice is still valuable. We get Deuteronomy 1:17. It says, ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is the Most High. So we can't be afraid of mama because mama saying, hang that phone up and don't call him in. Because mama get mad. Because daddy get mad. We don't want to hear the other side of the story. We don't want to hear about what this other person who helped create me. We don't want to hear what they got to say. Nah, it matters. Rather it's what we want to hear, and it's something we actually agree with, or if it's not. You know what I'm saying? We can't rob the child of that. Man, it's a huge disservice. Can't rob the child of that, man. Like what we seen in the video, the child grow up. It's people who didn't commit it. I don't know if they might flag me. It's people who unalive themselves, man, based off that war going on in them. Like, why? All these questions, why? It's people who didn't hurt other folks. People who went and joined these, fraternities and gangs and the army and organizations. And you think that this person just some wild demonic person the whole time. They really just hurting on the inside. They don't know Pops. They're like, man, what Pops was it, man? It's people who done went through situations where somebody took advantage of them. And Pops went around, and not because Pops didn't want to be around, but because that woman said, man, I don't want him around. I can do it by myself. But she ain't looking and watching over the child. She just said, I'm going to drop him off at my sister's house, or I'm going to go party. And the little boy, get to thinking it's okay to twerk and dance. She said, she laughing at it. He put some heels or some lipstick on. Oh, that's okay. That's just little man. He cussing. He cussing folks out. She laughing. He's okay. Look, y'all, listen. Like that's something cool. But the man who really got a spine, man, that honorable man, it's gonna be a problem. My son doing what? Man, we finna get that spirit out of her ASAP. It ain't nothing funny about that. Why is you laughing? But she don't love structure. She don't like structure. It's a part of the reason why they split. She didn't want to listen to him, and he wasn't doing nothing but telling her what's right. She didn't like that. She wanted to be. She was listening to Beyonce. She full of the bad girls club. It says, in the call that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. All right, let's keep moving, man. Deuteronomy 28. So we understand, as the Most High brought us into the truth, to understand that we the children of Israel. A major portion of it is that it's a curse. That separation of the family like that. It's a curse. Deuteronomy 28, 15, it says, but it shall come to pass that thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, generational curses. You know what I'm saying? So we hear about generational curses. We rarely hear about generational blessings. And a lot of those blessings, Father willing, we'll get to it tonight, comes through that honorable man, comes through the fact of the child being able to honor their father and their mother. But if you ain't got a father around to honor, how can you honor him? You know what I'm saying? To get that blessing. Now, we talking on a micro level with individuals, with just a man and a woman, but then we know we got powers at play, principalities at play from the system. But he said, if you don't listen, this is what the Most High said. He said, if you don't listen, you don't do what I say, man, this is something you're going to suffer. It's something you're going to suffer, man. Listen, keep my instruction. Do what I tell you to do. You're going to be blessed. So we going back into, which will, that'll be another message in itself, but when the two people got there, when your daddy met your mama, why did he choose her? Why did your mama choose your daddy? a lot of the foundations of the parents, the parenthood, the fathers and mothers, the households, the foundations was saying they weren't built off nothing solid. He was like, man, she fine. Oh, she thick. I love how she looks. She sexy. I love how she dressed. I like how she make me laugh. But all these things was temporary. It wasn't no wisdom in our world. He said, but how does this woman, how does she operate with children? He didn't take time to ask her, like, what was the relationship you had with your father? What's your deepest, let's have a real conversation of how do you view men? And because those conversations weren't had, man, the foundation wasn't solid, bro. It wasn't solid, so and it ended up falling apart. But let's jump down, though. Verse 54. I'm just telling you like it is. Deuteronomy 28, verse 54 says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So one of the curses that the people are going to suffer is that, man, you're going to have an evil eye towards your neighbor, the people that look like you, black on black crime. You know what I mean? This is the most popular term. It's a such thing as white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime, but it's more prevalent. It's more common to hear about black on black crime. It's promoted more. It says after that, his eyes shall be evil. Hold on. No, after that, and toward the wife of his bosom, toward that woman, your spouse, your mate, the one who you had children with. His eye gonna be evil toward that woman, man. And we see the gender wars all the time, all on social media, everywhere. But right after that, it say, and toward the remnant or remainder of his children, which he shall leave. He's going to abandon his children. He's going to leave them. He's going to leave that household. Why? Continue on, verse 55 says, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. So the word of the Most High is manifold. He's speaking about a time where our people got caught up and besieged in Masada. And it turned to a point where the city is sieged, so we can't leave. The enemies is outside. If we come out, they're going to kill us. They cut off the supply for food and water. So the people turned to cannibals, start eating the children. That already happened, but it also applies to today, because this still go on without the city being physically sieged. The system got us sieged in a lot of cases. A lot of the people's mindsets are warped and polluted and evil because of what they watch on TV, because of the music that they listen to, because of the food that's being ate, because of the chemicals that's being sprayed. Continuing on, verse 56 said, the tender and delicate woman. So this the sweetest, nice, peaceful woman you can come across. And if it's that type of woman, how much more would it be for the rough woman? And if we go back, it said the man that's tender and delicate among you. If that's the soft and delicate and tender man among us, how much more would the rough man do it? Verse 56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. She's so soft and man. And this is how women supposed to be treated, man. Like, my baby shouldn't have to carry her. You know what I'm saying? Her feet don't even need to touch the ground. But somewhere along the line, through disobedience, man, their spirit got polluted and the evil is present. So that type of woman, it says her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So now we're looking at the disobedience, the result of it being the woman hating her husband. I don't care for this Negro. We don't need men. I remember it was the science tell us that the world was populated by nothing but women at one point in time. That type of philosophy. We don't need men. We could do all bad by ourselves. And one of the warlocks that work, Tyler Perry with his movies. I can do all bad by myself. In every video with the black woman, they showing her getting abused by the black man. And then the good black man, that if he do show him, there's something wrong with him, or all of them. Subconsciously, those women, every woman ain't strong enough to watch that and not suffer from the Hollywood spell. Say, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So to lie to your daughter to say, well, your daddy don't want nothing to do with you the whole time, you keeping him away, like what we saw in the video. Man, that's evil, man. That's hate for the child. Verse 57, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children, which she shall bear. That's hatred. To rob their child of their other half for no good legitimate reason, man, that's evil, man. That's hatred toward the child. That's not love. That's not love at all, man. It says, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. Let's go to Exodus 20. Exodus 20. Let me pull that back up for some of y'all who just came in here late. Show y'all what we looked at. Some of y'all came in here late. Did you hear your father's side of the story, though? Because her daddy dead. Her pops died before she could. Her grandma had to tell her what the truth was.
I'm about to be extremely vulnerable because this might help someone. I've never been this vulnerable online in like ever, okay? I believe you are as sick as your secrets, and saying things out loud helps free you. So my parents were married, and then they had me. I guess their marriage was difficult, so they later got divorced. I don't know why. I don't know the details. All I know is that they separated. So I used to be with my mother 1 week, and then I'll go be with my father the next week. Okay. So back and forth. 1 week, my dad never showed up to come and pick me up. I sat by the door, literally waiting and waiting. He never showed up. The following week, I did the same thing. I did this for months. Okay. He never came. So I felt so rejected. Okay. I still quite literally turn into that little girl when I talk about it. It has changed the trajectory of my life. Okay. So I didn't find out until literally recently as an adult that my father did not abandon me. My mother cut him off because she was afraid that he was going to take me from her.
A lot of women are afraid of the fact that the father could do better with the child without them. This is just the facts, man. I'm not saying this to turn a woman down. I'm saying this to shed light on a situation and a matter that's not discussed, or at least I haven't saw it discussed. So if I'd have, let me speak on it then. It's a lot of people dealing with boys and girls who became men and women. She said she turned back to that little girl. And I'm going to say that my fathers are important, man. Mothers are important, both. Satan then came in there and got the people thinking that, well, we need to try to do it on our own. Just the mother by herself or just the man by herself. No. Why do you think it took both to make them? Go back, man.
Recently, as an adult, that my father did not abandon me. my mother cut him off because she was afraid that he was going to take me from her. So I literally had to grow up without a father, thinking that my father didn't love me. So I would go on dating these men who were.
She grew up thinking that her father didn't love her. She felt rejected. You know what I'm saying? She felt rejected, man. Like, man, Exodus 20, though. Exodus 20. Exodus 20. It's just like when we do see people, like so many cases, and I'm just saying from what I've saw over the years, and it seemed to happen every year. It's like this, you get this brown man or so-called black man, they get free from prison, and the city got to pay him some millions because he been in jail for 20 years for a crime he didn't commit. All his life is gone, though. 20 million ain't gonna make up for the 20 years he did not in jail. It's a difference. I don't know if you know that. Not in the county jail, but in prison. You know what I mean? Even though the county jails is getting worse, but it really go down in prison, man. 20 years in there. This man, he went in at 20, he coming out at 55. Based off a lie, something that wasn't true. How much of his life have he missed, man? Exodus 20, though, 20:12, it says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land, which the Most High thy power giveth thee. Honor your father and your mama, your dad and your mama, if you can. Somebody asked the question, how do you honor your parents? You know what I'm saying? Respect is one. Despite the wrath, the anger, the disappointment of what you feel, is it solely based? Is the foundation of that true? Or is your situation like this woman? Because the video we played earlier showed that the guy swinging on his daddy, knocked him down, cussing him out. And you got a lot of people right now who they actually have great parents. They actually have both parents. And guess what? They cuss their parents out. Try to fight them, disrespect them, don't honor them. Like I said, be holding on to different stuff of what they feel like. Parents ain't did nothing but trying to help them. Ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? And if you put your hands on your parent, the law or the Most High said you supposed to be unalive. And if you have, that goes into the blessing of us having the Messiah, man. You can repent for that. But the book tell us, man, honor your father and your mother. Let your days be long upon the land. Let's go to Deuteronomy 21. I ain't gonna be long tonight, y'all. I clear. I'm not gonna be long. Deuteronomy 21, verse 18, though. Check this out. It says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them. So you got a parent, you got parents, both of them now. Daddy tell you something, your mama tell you something, you're supposed to listen. If they tell you what's right. And this in the means of these are honorable parents. Without all the extras, you know what I'm saying, that go on. Can't talk about every situation, every angle, all at once. But it said this son is stubborn and rebellious. They didn't talk to him. He still ain't listening. Verse 19 said, then shall his father and his mother, both parents, lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. He rebellious, stubborn, gluttonous, and he get drunk all the time. It's not a sin to drink, but it's a sin to get drunk. He overdo it. He don't know his limits. He ain't got self-control. And within that, he don't want to respect the structure. You already living in my house. You know what I'm saying? And you still out of line. This is what he's saying. Verse 21. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shall thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear, because that spirit can transfer to others. Oh, okay. Oh, we seen, oh boy, he real rebellious and he going against his parents. Well, let me get like that and go against mine. Now that spirit spreading throughout society. And the enemy figured that he can capitalize on spreading a spirit like that faster, a stubborn and rebellious spirit, through TVs and movies. What was the name of the movie with the little girl turned to a red fox, a red bear, or whatever? That movie was teaching children how to be rebellious against their parents. And there's a lot of people right now who's stubborn and rebellious against their father or their mother based off a half truth. You ain't heard the full story. Pop's just been keeping it silent, trying to spur your perspective so that you won't look at your mama in a bad light. Your mama just ain't saying them because she don't want you to be looking at your daddy in a bad light. All right, but that child's supposed to be stoned. Let's go to 1 Samuel. Say rebellious and stubborn. Now look at this. We're gonna dive a little deeper into the spiritual meanings of all this. 1 Samuel 15. 1 Samuel 15 said he was stubborn and rebellious. 1 Samuel 15, verse 23. First Samuel 15, verse 23. No limit J. Right. Do she have a virtuous spirit? Yes, indeed, man. We'll keep going. But 1 Samuel, man. 1 Samuel 15, verse 23 says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So that boy or that daughter, that girl, that child, being rebellious, that's equal to witchcraft. That's equal in the eyes of the Most High. Rebelling like that against your parents is equal to playing in dark arts, which the penalty of it is death. It says in stubbornness, look at that, both of the same word, rebellion and stubborn. He rebellious and stubborn. And stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. That's just like serving another God. That's like a person choosing to spit in the Most High face, the Creator's face, and say, I'm going to go over and serve the devil. I'm finna go over and bow down to these stones and this wooden block. It's equal to that. Why? Because the Father established these parents over the children and gave them authority over the children that they're supposed to be respected and feared, even as you fear the Most High. He said, because thou hast rejected the word of the Most High, he have also rejected thee from being king. This is what happened to Saul. You didn't want to listen to the Most High. And what did the Most High say? Honor your father and your mother. What did the Most High say? Man, hear the small and the great, hear both sides of the story. But it's so easy for a lot of people to get into a mode where, like I said, because I already feel something against you, if I don't confront you about it or give you a chance to explain yourself, I feel justified in why I moved the way that I do against you. Somebody said abusive childhood plays a huge part in your adulthood. Yes, it do. Verse 24 said, and Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Most High and thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. And you got a lot of the parents who keep the children away from the other half because, like I said, they listening to what other people saying. You got your home girls and the other ones, they miserable. They've been cut off by good men. And so now that you done met your spouse, they want to try to have you to be miserable and want your family to fall apart like theirs did. Girl, keep him away. Don't let that boy go over there. He's a deadbeat. Don't even know the man. But they want you to be miserable and they want your child to be miserable. So they sit here trying to put stuff in your ear telling you, no, he ain't no good. I knew he wasn't no good when I first seen him. But the whole time she wanted him. That's the part she don't tell you. Did you hear your father's side of the story? Deuteronomy 18, verse 9. He said, if their son was stubborn and rebellious, it said rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. Stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Deuteronomy 18 and 9 said, when thou art coming to the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. We want the people who the Most High said that we supposed to abandon our children. We supposed to leave our children, mistreat our children, keep our children from the other half. That's what the other nations was doing. That's how they was moving. It says, there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire. And that goes on a lot. That goes on a lot through in another way. You know what I mean? That's a subject in itself. But in this case, you causing this child to have a horrible life, a life of lack, a life that could have been better. Because you saying, I'm mad at him. The child ain't mad at him. The child don't know. They innocent. But because you mad at him or you mad at her, you keep them away. Then they grow up and they not what some would deem to be a model citizen. It said, anyone that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the fire, or that use of divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer, for all that do these things are abomination unto the Most High. And because of these abominations, the Most High thy power do drive them out from before thee. We go on here because, like I mentioned, a lot of the daddies are absent, not because they want to be, but because the mother is under the spell of Tyler Perry, under the spell of Beyonce. Who run the world? Women. All your bags to the left. But she with Jay-Z somewhere put up. Jay-Z got them billions. She ain't finna leave him. But you listen to those lyrics and taking it in, agreeing with it, want to be Miss Independent, destroying your own family and your child at the same time. They witches. Beyonce is a witch. These folks be dealing with observing time, horoscopes and all that type of stuff. Diviners. Witches and warlocks. Tyler Perry, warlock. But these the people that they've been listening to, hearkening. Well, I'm gonna do. You not them, living vicariously through these folks. You're not them. People don't even know you exist. But their influence on you is so impactful that you tune out the Most High and destroy your child. Destroy your whole family. It says, thou shalt be perfect with the Most High thy power. For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observers of times And unto diviners, your horoscope told you he cheating on you today. The man been out working hard as he can to make something happen for y'all. He can't. The only thing on his mind is y'all, his woman and his children, and how he gonna provide for them. He ain't got time. He ain't thinking nothing about no other woman. But here it is. Your horoscope told you, watch out. That's all it said. The horoscope for you today said, watch out. And you immediately said, well, that means I need to watch out for him. You cut him off, rob your son and your daughter of a man, being in a house present who loved them more than himself because you listening to a horoscope. He said, but as for thee, the Most High thy power have not suffered thee so to do. Now, we ain't been, the Most High didn't allow us, the children of Israel, he didn't grant us that privilege. He didn't okay that for us. Let's go to Proverbs 18. But what happened a lot of times, though? Because a lot of the children, the adults who do have this wrath in them, the malice and the bitterness toward their father, this is what happened. Proverbs 18. This is what happened right here. Proverbs 18, verse 17 says, he that is first in his own cause seemeth just. So the one who came with the story first, the mama came with it first. She came with her side first, and you just believed it. So they seem right. Like in a lot of other cases outside of this subject, people come with, they tell their side of the story first, and so many just believe it because they came with their side first. That don't mean it's true. It's not wise to even believe that. You can hear it, consider it, but you got to get the full story, man. Did you hear your father's side of the story? It said, but his neighbor cometh in search of him. So the one who, hold on, let me ask you a few questions about that story. Because I ain't going to just listen to you and just hear it out and just agree to it. Let me see. I'm going to ask you a few, when and what, how, where was they at? These kind of questions. And then some of they get mad. Hey, man, you don't ask me that. Oh, I knew you wouldn't understand. They get the gaslighting. That narcissistic behavior get to coming up. Now they crying. I just knew you weren't going to understand. But the fake tears is to get you to stop asking so that you won't shed the light on their evil, that they wrong for keeping this child away from the father, man, or away from the mama. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus. We coming out the Apocrypha. If you over Facebook, I can't see your comments or, you know what I mean, or what you're saying. You have to come in through the YouTube or the IG. It's Sirach 11, though. Page 76, if you got the red one. There's 14 books they pulled out of the Common Bible, the canon. So your Bible, it'll have 66 books without this. If you get you a 1611, it'll have that 66 plus these 14. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 11, verse 7 says, blame not before thou hast examined the truth. So you hear something, somebody say something, okay. You know, they got a chance that you got to give them a chance to be fully convicted of being guilty. They blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. Understand what's being said, what's going on before you get to trying to correct or before you shoot off. You get mad, upset, and condemn this person. Say examine. That don't mean just look. That mean I gotta look. Let me look at it. Let me hold it. Let me see it in the light. Let me put it on the microscope. Let me see what it look like in water. Let me test it. But a lot of that's not going on. Verse 8 say, answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. So even in a sense, spiritually, you know, it's like that man, his communication and response to the matter is being interrupted. because the child had already been polluted enough to it. They don't want to hear him, and all they can hear is their mother's voice. You know what I'm saying? But we got to hear him out. Let him speak. Let him say his piece. Let him say, when you had that sit down with Pops or with your mama who wasn't present, you know, if the Most High allowed that to happen, man, look, let them talk. Don't cut them off. Even I know your feelings inside, you're not at peace, you upset about it, but man, look, give him a chance to, you know, say what he needs to say. That's what that's telling us. Let's go to Sirach 3. This one I'm closing out at. This one I'm closing out at, man. Talking about the original design of things was that we was never supposed to experience fatherless and motherless homes. But in the case that it's a reality, have you heard your pops side of the story? And if it's your pops that been keeping you away from your mama, have you heard your mama's side of the story? Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 says, hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be saved. Listen to this. For the Most High have given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. You got some men that want to keep the women away because they feel like the woman can't teach the child nothing. But the father said, no, he established that woman over the sons. She can tell them. She can teach them children. Long as it's the righteous stuff. And if it ain't righteous, then that's when you come in and say, hold on, baby, you going off. Verse 3, whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins. The one that honors their dad spiritually ends up getting forgiveness for any transgression they committed. So wouldn't it be something for the devil to say, hold on, let me make it to where they can't honor their father. That way I can try to keep their sin in place, whatever transgression they committed. Let me remove the dad out the house altogether. The crack epidemic, when they did roll in, they talking about the government assistance, going into the schools and trying to get the young girls' minds already prepped to say that you don't need a man. To get the dad out there, they rolled out their child support. Yeah, they rolled it out specifically so that that man can be removed. You living a life struggling where you didn't get to have your daddy send you off to the prom. You didn't have your daddy there to show you how to ride a bike. Not because he didn't want to be there, but because your mama said, I want this child support money. This child support is worth more than that man. But when a door get kicked in by one of the robbers and there's no man in there with you, you ain't got no defense in there. He come and take advantage of you and the children. Like I said in so many other cases, you bring in another man and he end up taking advantage of the babies. That type of stuff. Whoso honoreth his father maketh atonement for his sin. And he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure, respecting and honoring our mamas, man. The Most High say, man, I love it. I'm going to keep that. That's just like you putting treasure in a treasure box in heaven. He like, I got this for him. A beautiful thing. Verse 5, whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children. And when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. The father looks at it as by you honoring your pops. I'm going to listen to what you got to say. He that honoreth his father shall have a long life. Listen to that. The one that honors his father will have a long life. So on the flip side, again, you got to know the devil look at this and say, anything that the father say, I'm going to do opposite. Anything the Most High say, I'm going to do the opposite of it. so that these young men's lives now is shortened. They getting killed and killing each other in the street with switches and all that. Is this a part of why? Because the devil said, hey, I got a system to remove the daddy out the house. I'm going to get to that woman and make her agree to the fact that I don't need no man. But the very child that you're trying to get child support for, you had to create that child with a man. Even the women who say, I'm feminist, I'm pro-woman. Men are animals and they stupid and they useless. But you want to have a child, guess what? You still got to go to that place and get that liquid that comes from that man. That man still got to be present for you to create more life. He said, he that honoreth his father shall have a long life. And he that is obedient unto the Most High shall be a comfort to his mother. So the son or the daughter who is living a life godly, chasing the Most High, is a child that the parent don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about you being out in some bar and get to fighting and get your head bust, or I got to get you out of jail, or because you automatically about living for the Most High, you're going to grant me comfort and peace that I know you're not going to be in those situations or areas where I got to be worried and concerned about you doing something wrong. This is what it's telling us. But so many, they put the children out there and the child run to danger. They running into, because they want to be thugs and gangsters and mafia members. A lot of the boys, I'm talking about 12 years old on meth. They done got hooked on meth at 12 years old. All right. Verse 7. He that feareth the Most High will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his masters. So this is why the respect is supposed to be given. Like, man, you got to revere your parents like they your masters. Like, hold on, man, this they rule over me. Verse 8, honor thy father and mother both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. From them mean more than one. So if the dad is not present or the mama not present, man, you missing out on blessings. This is how the devil want it, man. Families ain't got to be destroyed in this out, man. We can restore families, man. You know what I mean? We still have the capability of raising our children where they effective in honor in today's society. This ain't something that's impossible, man. Verse 9 said, for the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundation. Now, this is the power of both of them together, the daddy and the mama. The daddy got the power on the journey of the child to say, yeah, we're going to set this up. We're going to establish this. This is going to be good for Junior. This is going to be good for baby. For the princess. This right here going to be good. The mama got the power to say, okay, I see our child doing something that's unruly. Let me root that up. I don't want that in their life. So both of those forces, the father and the mother, working together in the child's life, guiding them on a journey of life, man, they can't do nothing but win. If both of these parents is honorable, though. Because the story is true for some of us who are, you saying, well, my daddy went around, and yeah, he is a deadbeat. Your mama went around, yeah, she is a deadbeat. That's true for a lot of people. But in other cases, it's not, man. And so, like I'm saying, in a situation where these are honorable parents, the woman can say, man, Nah, we ain't having that. That's not what we want. That's not gonna take root in the baby. And the daddy got the power to say, yeah, we instilling this in him or her. Yeah, this how she gonna be hit. This how he gonna be. But we don't recognize that we got that power. And the enemy and the system don't want us to recognize that we got that power because we're too busy warring with one another. Continuing on verse 10 says, glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee. Something like, I don't know who recorded that video we looked at earlier. What a dude was slapping his dad, he knocked his daddy down. That ain't something to be glorified. That ain't something to be clapping our hands about and happy about. To be praising the Most High, man, that's something shameful. That's hurtful. That's really sad that he feel that he had to do that to his daddy. He at a point where he feel like, man, this is not just a thought no more. I'm gonna actually execute and carry this out. Man, that's sad for a person to be in that type of mind state, man. My heart go out to people who living like that and had to experience that, experiencing that right now. But it said, man, the shame of your father, that ain't nothing to gloat in. So if something happened to your pops that's unfavorable or ill, that ain't something for you to celebrate. This is what the book telling us. Let me see. Verse 11 said, for the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children. So their daddy, they like, man, who? Oh, man, that's Deion Sanders' son, Shadur. Oh, you such and such son. Man, that's King David's son. The people, because of who your daddy is, who your pops is, it brings glory to the child. Man, that's T.I.'s son. You know, we seeing these boys or these young men in media now. Who your daddy is. Man, that's Trump's son, man. That's Barron Trump. I'm like, oh, that's the president's son. And they say a mother in reproach. So it's a shameful thing for the word around the town that your mama is loose. Or that your mama's super shiesty. She was setting people up. You know, or anything that's not a good and honorable, you know what I'm saying, description of your mama. Like, that's reproach. That ain't good. It fall on the children. And you go to school, you know, children unfiltered, they get to talking about, man, that's why your mama such and such, making fun of you because of your mama. Verse 12, my son, help thy father in his age when he get old, and grieve him not as long as he liveth. As long as your daddy live, man, don't harm him. Don't cause him no problem. Don't cause him no stress. This is what the book telling us. Say, honor him. He said, help him in his age when he get older. Especially those of us who done had a good father. Man, you help that man. It says, and if his understanding fail, have patience with him. Okay, he ain't thinking like he ain't as sharp as he used to be. Sometimes, you know, you get older, they get to forgetting stuff. That ain't something to get frustrated. That's something to say, man, hold on. That's a sign that his time is ticking down. I need to get closer to him. That means he getting closer to where he finna give up the spirit. He finna go to the grave. Let me get closer to Pop. He forgetting stuff. She forgetting stuff. Mom forgetting stuff. But you guys, people who ungrateful, even then, so selfish, that don't mean nothing to them. They say, I don't care, man, I got my own life to live. You got parents who done took care of, man, did everything to the T for the child. And then that parent gets sick, go to the hospital. The same child that you expecting and thinking that will be there for you is the one who leave you in the hospital, be quick to pull the plug on you soon you go down. My son, help thy father in his age and grieve him not as long as he liveth. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength. Now you in your full strength, in your prime. Verse 14, for the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten. And instead of sins, it shall be added to build thee up. So when we decide that, man, I'm going to help my dad, I'm going to look out for Pop, the Most High, the Father of fathers, Father lights, the Father creation. He say, man, I'm going to erase some of your sin for that. Such a blessing. Verse 15, in a day of thine affliction it shall be remembered. Thy sins also shall melt away as the ice in a fair warm weather. He that forsaketh his father is as a blasphemer, and he that angereth his mother is cursed of the Most High. So the one who forsake their pop, you abandon your pops. I know we're talking about it from the aspect of the pops abandoning the child or the mother abandoning the child. You're looking at it from another angle too. You abandon your pops. He's not the deadbeat. Because you got people out here who they've been influenced by their friends. You think he's so cool because he rebellious and raw or whatever. He think he thugged out, he gangster, but he acting like that because he ain't have a daddy. And he would give anything to have a father. But because he moving like that, the spirit transfer, you go home to your pops and start mistreating him. Some of y'all did that. You need to go ask your pops for forgiveness, man. But right here it said the relieving of the father says sins will be forgiven, and instead of sins, it shall be added to build thee up. And he said it'll be as a blasphemer if you forsake him, man. Yes, indeed. That's all I got on that. So, with so many things going on, it's wise to get both sides of the story. Your mama got a side of why your pops weren't present, but go get his side of the story. Go ask him if it's possible. Sit down with him. Give him a chance to talk, man. You might find out that he wasn't present, not because it was by choice, but because it was by force, like what we saw in the video earlier. If you coming in late. Yeah, man. Questions, comments, and concern before we close out, man. I know it's late. It is what it is, though. Questions, comments, and concern before we close out. Questions, comments, and concern before we close out. A lot of folks harboring hatred. They mad at their pops. Don't even know, man. It ain't even that man's fault. Bro posted Wisdom of Solomon 7 verse 12, and I rejoiced in them all because wisdom goeth before them, and I knew not that she was the mother of them. Yes, indeed. All praise to the Most High. Let's see. I'll see what y'all saying over in the comment section. Yup, familiar spirits do get people caught up. Become new creatures. Yeah. Yes, indeed. All praise to the Most High. I'm saying it's a good teaching. May the Most High be magnified. Trying to read y'all comments over here. Let's see. Let's see. All praise the most. I appreciate that encouragement right there too. Mm. Yeah, mercy, man. I'm sorry to hear that about your son too, Mark. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Steve, my peace and blessing to you, Saint. Man, I appreciate all you do for the nation too, bro. Yes, indeed. Hold up. Okay, I think I'm at the top. Bro said he dealing with that right now. Yeah, man. There's more than one side to the story. No apology necessary. Hey, go rewatch it. What we is? How long is it? How long have been live anyway? Probably about an hour or so. Mm. Man, yes indeed. Fear the Most High and keep His commandment. All praise to the Most High, bro. Says the lesson helped him as a father. What about a family built by betrayal? Thaddeus Brown, what you mean? Well, explain what you mean by that. A family built by betrayal. What you mean? What you mean? Okay, yeah, an hour and a half. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Just a couple more seconds, man. Then I'm gonna close out. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Preferably it was an edification. And above all things, the Most High will magnify. Preferably yokes be destroyed. Yes,
Salute
indeed.
the righteous and I mute the wicked. How you Christian rockin' Buddha printed true religion. Felt the change and I knew the difference. Moved the pivot, went from selling trees to selling soap and fruits with eucalyptus. Root of David, fruit of true repentance. When it's dead weight, who can lift it? A broken spirit, who can really fix it? They went half to make the baby, then went half just to kill it. They say crabs in a bucket, I say crabs in a skillet. That's on fire, homie. Keep that fire, homie, like a peacock, all these eyes on me. She made die lonely, grudge drove her crazy. Your hate for that man should never be stronger than the love for your baby. It's like I got the art of feel. I can tell when it's not as real. If it prevails, it was obvious. We'll complain about a simple life, homie, doing a life sentence. Psalm 34:7, I've been hard to kill. Home do the kundalini, home do the chakras. Talking everything kosher, home do the lobster. And Nebuchadnezzar's furnace is where the rebels meet. Foolish, strong delusion, do the hubris, can't accept defeat. They did you wrong, ain't telling you forget. Moved on, 2-inch memory foam, now I get better sleep. Sometimes you gotta let them go. They'll never know, and they'll only see if you let it be. It's just a trick, it ain't legit without the father stamp. Survivor kid, the Bible lit like a lava lamp. You trust the one you listed as your power of attorney. Take the good with the bad, it's all healthy. Gain wealth through the wisdom, that's the power of the journey. Things wrote a 4-time rim for our learning. They see freedom, I see Sodom and Gomorrah while it's burning. Cast down, Babylon is falling. And it's epic, tell the paramedics never mind the gurney. Truth make the devil choke like smoke in the esophagus. They drop bones out the sarcophagus. We take the hatred as a compliment, honestly. Far as prophecy, we living it out. Epstein files, agents swerving in excursions. Bombed out, ran the highest, stirring up the purgings. Major businesses doing mass layoffs to keep them going bankrupt, a couple of them merging. Record clean, cops still make them nervous. World War, this the third one. Praying hard they don't draft our children for the service.
All right, family. I see no question. My peace and blessing to y'all. Have a blessed night. Rest of the week. Stay elevated. Shalom.